And if I talk about YouTubers, obviously a lot of them are gonna try to do response video about what I'm gonna say right now because it makes views and it's quite easy. You just have to start your camera and say what you want to say, which is the exact same thing I'm doing right now.
You asked for a response video, you're gonna get a response video, Mr. Pantouf. Yo, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays and welcome back to the response video to Pantouf's video. If you haven't seen it, go check him the video out. Pretty much he is saying Blitz and YouTube are boring. Now I am going to talk about his video, not in a bad way. I've got nothing bad to say about that video. In response to Pantouf, I'm on his side and I totally understand his point of views, and I'm just pretty much going to explain roughly what he talks about in his video. So the first part of his video, he talks about Blitz being boring. Obviously, like me, Pantouf has every tank in the game, and when you have every tank in the game, there is a limit of things for you to do in the game, and obviously that does get boring. For all the newer guys that hasn't been around, I mean, me and Pantouf's been around 6 years. I've been around, or even more than that, I've been around 6 years. We've been around an extremely long time in Blitz. So once you do get every tank in the game, there's not much for you to do. And as Pantouf said, I know that Wargaming bring out these fun modes, the Uprising, Mad Games, etc. They are fun, don't get me wrong, they are fun. But there's only so much you can do with that before the novelty wears off. And for me, I don't enjoy playing the Mad Games and all that as much. Like, I can't even remember the last time I properly sat down and played Mad Games. And I think that's the problem with us. Like, once you've got everything, you sit there, and most of us play the game just for the sake of playing the game. And most of us are still playing the game because of the money that we invested in the game. It's not as easy just to say, you know what, that's it, done. Because we've put so much money into the game, we don't just want to give up. As for the game itself, I think the game is still doing good. I still, when I do play the game, I still enjoy playing it. But there's things that you could do differently to enjoy the game. And as for me, I don't get much time. Just like Pantouf, because of his degree that he's doing in law, good luck to him with that. It's a tough road for him. He's done sort of 5 years so far, so fair play to him. Family, social life, it's not as easy to have that time to sit and enjoy the game. You guys can actually sit and enjoy the game, whereas for us, we haven't got that time. I mean, I've got a family of 4 kids. I work 12 hours a day. It's when I get time to play the game, that's the time I use to actually make footage for the game. Because I'm a YouTuber, I do it for a living, and that is the same as Pantouf. So we only sort of find ourselves enjoying the game properly when we stream, which is why we do love to stream, because that's really the only time we sit there and play, interact with friends, and enjoy the game. We play what you guys want us to play. Other than the stream, the only time I really play the game is to get footage. The difference with me, I'm a tester. I get to test new tanks in the game, where Pantouf doesn't do that. He doesn't test tanks. So that for me brings more enjoyment to the game. So it gives me a reason to play the game without making footage, just to sit there, enjoy a tank, if it's good or not. Mostly test tanks are good because they are untested, and usually after test they get nerfed. So I get the pleasure of playing a test tank while it is at its best or at its worst. It swings both ways. Sometimes the tank is so poor, Wargaming have to buff it before they release because it's so poor. So us testers don't always have it the easy way, playing really OP tanks. We do have it the tough way as well, playing shit tanks. But as for the game, I know Pantouf calls for tech tree tanks to be implemented a lot more, and I know that he has said Wargaming bringing new tanks into the game sort of every week, or not every week, but sort of every month. Why can't they bring in tech tree tanks every month? Which I do agree in some aspects. I do agree with that, because at the moment it just seems to be most of the new tanks coming into the game are just sort of pay to win tanks. You got the Smasher, you got the Annihilator. Now, even though it is fun playing those tanks, coming up against those tanks constantly, it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't get any more fun coming up against a platoon of Annihilators or a platoon of Smashers. But it gets to a point where you're just like, what's the point playing the game? So the game, it can do more. I mean, I'd love for Wargaming to bring in different events. I know he calls for like different like clan events and stuff like that. I'd love for them to bring in different kind of modes, like instead of gravity, mad games, maybe like a battle royale mode, or something different that is permanent. I know we have ratings, I know we have supremacy and stuff like that, but it would be nice for Wargaming to implement something like battle royale mode, like everyone versus everyone in a like maybe a smaller map with 50 tanks or 100 I don't even know if they'll be able to do it, and the last one wins, like something like that. Just something simple. I don't even know if Wargaming can do something like that, God knows, but it would be nice, as Pantoufs said, it would be nice for Wargaming to implement a new mode permanently, just to give the variety of gameplay that you can choose from. But other than that, I think the game itself is still doing okay. People do moan about the matchmaking, etc., which we've previously spoke about. Update 5.5 is now, it's sort of ruined higher tiers because people were getting up to tier 10 much quicker. So yeah, there is things that Wargaming can do. I know they've now brought in the new tutorial, which we will be making a video. We have made a video, but I'm just waiting for Raid Shadow Legends to approve this video so I can release it, because it is advert on there. So the game wise, yeah, I can understand for someone like Pantoufs and myself, it does get a bit boring because we've completed the game, like as some will say, we've completed the game, where most other people don't own all the tech tree tanks. They've still got things to go for, and that's where I say, like, for these players, like, try something different, like get not a new game, but if you want to play Blitz, like, try a different challenge. Like for me, my challenge is to ace all the tanks in the game. Maybe find a different challenge that you could do. Maybe try and get different medals or something. And as Pantoufs said, he wants to switch it up. He wants to change it up, maybe play new games onto the channel. Fair enough, do it. If you've got time, I'd love to play new games. I would love to have different games on my channel. We tried PUBG once, we tried Call of Duty once, but the views, for me, I mean, if we stuck to it, I would have been like Bushka. When PUBG first came out, I got offered the same as Bushka with PUBG, but I turned it down because of time. Which now look at Bushka PUBG, like over 120,000 subscribers. He's getting paid from PUBG. Like, but I turned that down because of time. And so I would love to play different games, but I just don't have that time. Now, as for YouTube itself, he says YouTube's getting boring, and I can explain that. I totally agree with him. Back 2, 3, 4 years ago, as he said, we would all do review videos, and the title would literally be like FV215B review, and you don't see that no more. Why? And that's simple. That is the simple answer, because of views. If I put in my title review, they do poor in views now. And if you look at my World of Dummies or my top 5 compared to tank reviews, they just outweigh that, and it makes me sit there and think, like, do I just change my channel to World of Dummies? Do I rename my channel to World of Dummies and just put World of Dummies on there, because they seem to do well, and I get a lot of them. I get so much content of World of Dummies. I could do 2 videos a day, and that's what Pantoufs, like, he's running out of content because he's doing 2 videos a day. Now, that's not really Wargaming's fault. That is Pantoufs' fault, and same as Droodles. Like, when you do 2 videos a day, of course you're going to run out of content. which is why I stopped doing 2 videos a day. There's occasions I do 2 videos a day, like today, maybe tomorrow. But one of the videos, I will just use someone's replay. Maybe I would suggest Pantouf and Droodles to do that. 1 main video, 1 replay video. But again, replay videos don't get that many view nows. Why? Because there are so many freaking YouTubers doing it. There is so many YouTubers nowadays. When I first started YouTube, there was me, Pantouf, on a different channel, Bushka, Skate, Martin Dogger. That was basically it. Armored Pants, you can say. That was it. And the thing is, back then, we all worked for ourselves. We all got the subs that we've got through ourselves. We didn't have anyone saying, go sub to these guys. We did it ourselves. So because of the market in YouTube back then, I mean, we didn't have as many subs as we have now, but there was less competition as such. And I'm not a competitive person. I don't sit there and say like, oh, I've got to get more views than Pantouf or Droodles, or I've got to get more subs than them. Like, I don't care. I don't care if they beat me in subs. If I cared, I would never shout them out. And that's the problem now with the YouTubers. Can you count? I mean, 3-4 years ago, you could count on one hand how many YouTubers there were. Now that you've lost count. I've lost count how many YouTubers there are in Blitz, because every other person is a YouTuber now. And not only that, because of us sort of, so I'd say famous 5 maybe, me, Pantouf, Bushka, Skate and Martin Dogger, we are basically the originals. Of course there is other people, we are the originals. So people come to us like, hey, can you shout out my channel? And we do it because we are that kind of people that like to help other people. You got look at What Blitz Joe. Me and Pantouf both shouted him out, and look how many subs he's got. Amazing. 23k subs, amazing. Also look at Droodles, 50k sub. Like, I shouted him out at 800 subs. Now I've got nothing against these guys, like nothing at all. Most of them are my friends, and I've got no problem with shouting these guys out, because they are my friends. They deserve to have the subs that they've got. But that is the issue now. Like Pantouf said, like back then we would have a review on a tank, and there was 3 or 4 reviews of the same tank, a new tank that comes out into the game. Not even that, just even a tech tree tank. And basically everyone's video is the same, but just someone different talking about it. So that's probably why review videos don't do so well now, because there's just so many people making the same video. You have next week or whenever, when there's a new tank come out, after the first day you've got 7-8 people, 7-8 YouTubers all doing the same video. Now the advantage I get over the rest is I get the tank of a new video. I get a tank of the new tank come out. It's like if a tank's coming on Friday, I would get the tank on a Wednesday, so I've got time to make the footage. Whereas Pantouf and Droodles, they have to actually wait for the video, for the tank to be released to make this footage, to make this video. But then I've already released my video, so that's the one advantage I've got over them. The other advantage they've got over me is like they are young. Look at Droodles, like he's young. He lives at home with his parents. He's got so much time on his hand, and this is where YouTube, back 5 years ago, we didn't do it for the money. We didn't care about having a good thumbnail or how long the video was. We did not care, because we would always say we're not doing YouTube for the money. We're doing it because we enjoyed it. But the more subs you get, the more views you get, the more money you start to get. And then over time, you start enjoying that money. So YouTube does become a job, which is why originally Skate left. He'd never done it for money. Yes, the extra money is good. It is good. I'm not going to lie. It is good. And for my situation, I get paid more in YouTube than I do my actual job. So of course, I'm going to work hard on YouTube. And the same as Pantouf, he is a student that's getting 3k a month as a student. Of course, he's going to do it. And I have no problem with people doing YouTube for money, because that is what it is. If I didn't get paid from YouTube, do you think I'd still be doing YouTube? Do you think I'd want to work 12 hours a day and then have to record footage, record the gameplay, make the footage? No, like all for free? No, I wouldn't put as much effort in. Back then when we weren't getting paid, we would do 2-3 videos a week. And now, because we're getting so much money, we're trying to pump out the 2 videos a day. And because we're pumping out 2 videos a day, it does get boring. It does get boring. You kind of get bored. And you sit there, I sit there at work this morning and think like, oh, I've got to make a video. I haven't done a video today. I have to make a video. Because we rely on that money now. It becomes part of our day-to-day business. If we don't make a video, we lose money. And when you have 4 kids, and when you're, for my situation, I'm doing my house up at the moment, and all the money I get is extra, and it helps go towards my house and doing my house up. We used to have holidays and stuff like that. So money is a big, massive factor for YouTube, but that's also the negative of that, because of the money, people are seeing that me, Pantouf, Droodles, Bushka, we're all earning this money, and they are sitting there like, I want a piece of that. I want a piece of that. And that is the thing now. It took me 4 years to earn money. New YouTubers in the game now want to become a YouTuber and want to earn money straight away. They've got no patience. They want to earn money straight away. Like, they think it's going to happen overnight. So money is a big factor, and that's definitely why we have so many YouTubers out there today. Literally, I've lost count on how many YouTubers we have, because everyone wants to do it, and then it does become into something that is just competition, which is why I started doing things like top 5 videos, because no one was doing them. That's why I started doing World of Dummies, because no one was doing them. So you need to figure out something new that is different from the rest. I mean, look at Blitz Muffin, for example. He does the 7 versus 7 in training rooms because no one else does it. So when someone else does it, of course he's going to get upset, because it's like, that's unique to him. If one of these guys, Pantouf or Droodles, if they started making videos called World of Dummies, of course I would get upset, because they're the videos that get me the most views. That is my thing. You know, that's my thing. So for someone else to start doing that, then yeah, they are taking your sort of your niche, your whatever, your thing away, and it doesn't, then it's not special. It's not special to your channel. So that's the problem with YouTube nowadays. It's just there's too many YouTubers. There's way too many YouTubers for such a small game. YouTube, obviously, Blitz is a small game compared to big. Obviously, it's a mobile game, but compared to PUBG and all them big games, it is a small game. And we've got more YouTubers than any other mobile game, without a doubt. There's just so many YouTubers out there, and that for me is the biggest problem with YouTube today, that there is just too many. But as for the game, it is still plodding along. It's still doing well, and that's about it. So no rant on Pantouf. I agree with what he says. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm Meaty. I'll catch you soon.